Hello everyone, and welcome back to Shadowrun Dragonfall. We have just finished our mission of locating Green Winters, who is currently a charred corpse right about there. Just as we were about to leave, we got a message from a dude holed up in the top floor, who apparently has a vault that he wants our help in cracking. So we're going to take care of that before we leave. And there he is, presumably. Psst! Over here, buddy! I ain't your buddy, pal. But yeah, what's up? Blitz. Knew you'd come. Well, I've always been a good judge of character. Since we're meeting in person, I'll formally introduce myself. He nods his head in a salute. Blitz, Decker extraordinaire at your service. Save the theatrics, just point me in the direction of the vault. Shadow. The vault is just around the corner. Once we get there, I can unlock it with a few clicks on the keypad. Blitz offers you something between a smile and a smirk. Built myself a back door when I wrote the security system. Never hurts to be careful. Sounds good. Let's go. Why does the game do that sometimes? Just minimizes itself. New objective, optional, open the vault. Well, it's not optional at this point, now is it? So that's where the objective is. What's over here? I'll take random loot. Ooh, an advanced drone repair kit. That'll sell for good. That's it in here? Alright, that's fine. What about over here? Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, nothing over there. I think we've already looked in the bow. Okay, no. So we clearly haven't been up here. Why did I feel like we had? It's been a bit since I recorded the last episode. I've had a lot on my mind since. Line of sight blocked. How dare you? Where is everybody else? God, they're all the way back there. Glory! Yeah, no, that's my fault, really. I have -1 AP. I guess because I moved further than it thought I realistically should have been able to in my turn. Well, we're taking a hit here, but that's fine. This mission's almost over. Ow! Whopping 7 damage. Followed by a 5. And that's less than ideal. Well, my friend, I would throw a shotgun and say 2 could play at that, but that's not the greatest. Instead, we'll try to shoot the Doom boss. Got a hit off. Alright, we're ready to swarm him next turn. So we'll take out 2 heavy of hits. Ow. Ow! Good thing I had that on hand. Yeah, that is going to be entirely a screw you. Because you went down. Let's get that shotgun back out. that. Alright, and then heal me, please. Just use a basic one for now. We just have to get through the mission. That should be okay. What do you have? Spray and pray. Aimed burst. Do an aimed burst. Didn't really matter. I'll have to do a spray and pray. Why not? You actually managed to hit one. Ow. Alright, let's get into some cover now, please. Again with this. Is it a trackpad thing? Am I accidentally hitting something there? I don't know. It's weird though. Line of sight is blocked. Fine, then get down there. I would like a kill, please, Iger. Thank you. And let's put the pressure on. The machine pistol sucks, bro. That's something. Can you just take him down with melee? Not bad. Not bad. Beautiful. Well, that was a fight. Alright, here we go. Tap, tap, tap. Done. Wait, when did that thing get installed? Take cover! Oh my god. Ow. Alright, well that's something I can interact with. An enraged troll, that's exciting. Can you hack in anywhere? Drone Control 3. Send self-destruct codes to the automated security. Nope. Okay, that does not help us. Gonna have you back here as a support mage. Iger. Go as far back as possible. Iger, go get into cover. You not going after the drone there, buddy boy? I don't appreciate that. I think we're gonna want him a little shredded, and not in the fun way. There's the turret. Let's have you at least get to a little bit better position. It's getting damaged. Ow. Ooh, come on, me. What was that? much health does that thing have left? Can't be much. Ow. That was less than ideal. I guess that's why it's spray and pray. Ow. Ow. Oh, is that your other trauma kit or something activating? Maybe. Let's just try shooting this thing. I thought 4 was a strong bit of damage, but apparently not. %, is pretty good. Oh, God, gotta reload. Fine. Here, I care about you the least. Try and soak some damage. If you can. Yo, what did I just say? Iger, come on. Will this work on you? Oh my god, it's got like 1 health. And finally Iger gets the hit. Are we good? Oh yeah, no, she still has to be revived. There we go. Yeah, I was waiting to see if we died or not. Speaking of which, can I use some of these, maybe? Thank you. And who else has a spare one? You do. There's an extra one on me. I seem to be attracting a lot of attention. Okay. Drone appears to be broken. All it can seem to do is hover in place. Yeah, we'll take it. Why not? Bliss, that's a drug. Drug formula, Jazz. We probably give that to Zach Flash. Money. Nitro and Karma. That's all they had in here? Dreck. Huh, cool. And we got a Karma out of it. Hopefully we are safe to just leave now, but you know what? Let's maybe not run ahead just to be safe. In case there's another ambush, you know? Nope. Alright, looks like using those health kits was a waste. Yeah, I hate to see it. I think I'm good to leave, yeah? Yeah, return to the cruise bosser. Cool. I'm out. Y'all have fun. Somebody else figure out who new management is. Hey, thanks for the assist. Can't tell you how happy I am to leave this place behind. If it helped, must have been terrible to be stuck in here. Well, it was no picnic, I'll tell you that much. Say, you wouldn't happen to need a Nova Hot Decker, would you? Because I suddenly find myself unemployed. I'm a Decker, so no, I'm afraid not. The position's been filled. Oh, damn. Well, I also have some rigging skills. I can do that. No, you don't. You didn't even have rigging 3. And I'm pretty handy with a gun. Worst case scenario, I'm another warm body to fill the ranks if somebody takes a hit. Come on, buddy, let me sign on with you. You won't regret it. Yeah, you can sign on, but I'll never use you. Oh, excellent. Fantastic. I promise you, you won't regret it. It's nice to have another backup Decker at the very least. Your team makes its way back to the nearest U-Bahn station. 20 minutes later, you're on a return trip to the Cruisbosser, leaving the filth of Drogon Kip far behind. But the image of Green Winters' twisted corpse continues to linger in your mind. You lift one of the discs that you pulled from Winters' safe to the light. Reflections dance off of its surface. With luck, you'll soon have the answers that you've been looking for. Ooh, I think we just got karma. It's loading. Come on, baby, you can do it. You can do it. Load the Cruaz. Don't be cruel. There we go. Crew advancement available. As you lead your team through the shadows, your companions will continue to develop and learn new combat skills. Clicking the icon in the lower right-hand corner of the screen will open the Crew Advancements menu. When this icon is highlighted, one or more of your companions is eligible to learn a new combat skill. At each advancement level, you may choose one of 2 possible combat skills for each of your runners. Choose wisely. Interesting. Well, let's handle levels then. So Iger, Sniper Specialist, gains a sniper rifle ability, increases oh, so it's just an aim, okay. Imbalance is making it easier to hit on set. That's pretty decent. And it doesn't matter which, like, we don't have to go only one or only the other. So accuracy up for her next shot, or making it easier to hit on subsequent attacks. Well, I'm already pretty ranged enough as it is, so yeah, let's give you Scatter Shot. Oh, do you have multiple? No, you don't have multiple. It's just showing the arrow, so I was a little confused. You don't have anything, but you will later, I assume. Glory gains either compound attack. Okay, so it's a 2-hit combo. Pierces up to 1 armor, may do AP damage, or Firepower round. Additional 2 damage and pierces up to 2 armor. I see. Let's take the pistol one. And Dietrich. That strips 1 armor from affected targets. Accuracy with knives. I think we'll take that, yeah. And I think that's it for all of them? Yeah, we seem to be good. Anything new with you, Samuel? Yeah, okay. How's Silky doing? Oh god, I forgot what voice I gave him. I know I was pretty happy with it. Yes, she mentioned that you had sent her. I don't know what you told her, Shadow, but whatever you said, it worked. Silky's determination is truly inspiring. A cram habit is a difficult thing to beat, but I don't doubt that she will make it. Any donations? Cool. Thanks to your kind assistance, the shelter is now fully stocked with blankets and space heaters, and we've enough rice, salt, and barley to last through the winter. but guaranteeing the physical well-being of the cruise bossers needy is only a part of the equation. We must see to their mental well-being as well. Our next goal is to fully stock— Oh, yes! Fully stock that library! Hell yeah! Always support that. Take what you need, I've got you covered. Samuel's eyes widen. This is incredibly generous. Thank you, mein Freunden. Not a big deal, Sam. Do good with it. Marvelous. Truly marvelous. With this contribution, we have reached our second goal. We will put this money to use stocking the library with a full range of literature, philosophy, poetry, and training manuals. Thank you again for your help, Shadow. You've made a tremendous difference for this community. Happy to help, Sam. I wish it was that easy. Casual money for mercenary jobs to fund into your community. Alright, he's good for the moment. I mean, I guess technically it is. You just gotta get on that mercenary jobs. Anything from you, Lane? We're basically gonna do our rounds now, yeah. The old troll putters about, his artificial joints complaining loudly. He seems heavier today than when you first met, and he takes your approach as reason to seat himself and rest. Oh, sorry, hold on. I understand they put you in charge of Monica's outfit. Looks like we're both carrying heavy burdens. Ha! I suppose so. We'll see what gives out first, your will or my plastic needs. How are people handling the loss of Monica? I think most are still in shock, but just you wait. That'll pass and then the panic sets in. Few folks have any real discipline around here. Monica kept them calm by keeping them safe. Now that she's gone, they're going to start realizing what a heap of misery this blasted city can be. You consider yourself a man of discipline, then? More than most I've met. Surely enough to keep my head when the shit hits the fan. Really doesn't matter that much to me, but to the rest it's going to be a different story. Monica kept this place in one piece. She read the flux like a bird reads the wind, or a fish reads the current. Without her, there's no telling what's going to happen. Anything else you want to jaw about? Let me guess, you want to know how I lost the legs? Too bad I don't have Biotech 3. If you're offering, might as well hear it from me than one of the addle-brained kids running about. Lost the legs during the First Euro War, if you must know, in a bombing. Cool. Check in with you again later, my friend. How much karma do I have? 13. Okay, I should spend mine before going any further. Because I think I would like to up charisma a little bit. Get us a new etiquette. Oh, that's going to be most of it. Alright, get us closer to new etiquette. I do, well, it would be good to have. Our decking is fine for the moment. What's this? Maximum patrols. Up our strength. Full auto isn't always useful, but it is sometimes useful. Quickness itself would be good. Yeah, we'll do the charisma. I'd like to have that etiquette. Oh, I already forgot the breakdown. Academic's good to have. Socialite is good to have, I believe. Shadowrunner is useless, if I remember. Gang was pretty useful, and so was Street. I think I'm gonna take You know what? I'm gonna take Socialite, and we'll take Academic next. That'll be at Charisma 8. Then we've got 2 more Karma we can spend. I think we just hold on to that. Cool. Anything new, Simi? The girl with the chip in her head stands with her eyes closed, rocking back and forth. I'm pretty sure we've talked to them before. She looks so frail that a light breeze might knock her over, but she somehow stays on her feet. Whether by coincidence or some kind of preternatural junkie awareness, she opens her eyes when you come near. I know you. Maybe by face, if not by name. I'm Shadow. By face, by name, by cry, or by song. Simmy Kim is what most people call me. They think I don't know why, but I do. Monica explained. How do you feel about Monica's death? Kim hugs her arms close to her body. Sad. She never got to have a family. She'll never get married, never be a mother. Seems she was a mother to the whole crew as bosser. Kim nods her head almost dumbly, her eyes unfocused on the ground. Monica said a mother is always a mother. Always. So what have you been up to? You having a good time? Girl absently fingers the chipjack in her temple. I wanted to escape with the children and the captain. We had to get away from the soldiers, out of Austria. But it was wrong, all wrong. I was taking them over the mountains, but it was the wrong way. I know it was. It would have taken us straight into Germany, not Switzerland. We should have taken a train, gone to Italy. There we would have been safe. I didn't want it to end badly, so I turned it off. Zach sold me something new. In it, I feel strong. I have a son, and he's destined to save the world. I have to protect him, because the machines have come back to kill him before he can become a man. So, Gone with the Wind and then Terminator? I won't let that happen, because in there I'm strong. Alright. Well, talk to you later. Der Weinkeller? I feel like that's new. Also, game, you, doing okay? Yeah, you're fine? Alright. Anything new at the phone booth for us to sell? Nope. What's in Der Weinkeller? Have we been there before? I feel like we have not, and I missed it. There's Lucky Strike over there. Either that or it just opened up and I wasn't allowed to go here before. Which is possible. Just Lucky Strike, eh? Alright, what you got, my dude? Not my dude. A young woman stands at the bar smoking a cigarette. You've seen her face before. Lucky Strike, one of the mercenaries from Monica's files. A plume of blue-gray smoke spills from the corner of her mouth as she turns her attention to you. Hey. Distinctive circuit pattern tattoos that line her face shimmer and pulse with light. You need something. I don't believe we've met. I'm Shadow. Yeah, I know who you are. She takes a drag on her cigarette. How you holding up, champ? I heard what happened to your boss. Happens. Running the shadows is a dangerous line of work. She smirks, then lets the smoke escape. I can't talk. And lets the smoke escape from the corner of her mouth. Don't I know it? So, you need something? Or are you just going to stand there staring? Why'd you bring up Monica? Did you know her? I met her a couple of times. Seemed nice enough. Another smoke. But I mostly knew her by reputation. You can't live in this Kiaz without hearing about the queen of the crew as bosser. She pauses, then slowly lets the smoke escape through her nostrils. Can't say that I was a fan. You really to brush up on your social skills. That's your prerogative, but then you didn't really know her. That's true. But I do have eyes, and I can see what's been happening to the crew as bosser since she got geeked. Whole place is falling apart, isn't it? And why do you think that is? Monica helped a lot of people. Now that she's gone, she can't anymore. Simple. The illustrious Frau Schaefer helped people all right. She helped them so much that they couldn't make things work without her anymore. She made herself into a leader here. And guess what? In an anarchist system, there aren't supposed to be any leaders. Lucky Strike taps out her cigarette and leans towards you. a predatory grin on her face. You and your friends. You followed Monica too. Obeyed her orders without question, right? Not without question. There were debates. And at the end of those debates, Monica would put her foot down and you'd wind up doing whatever she said, right? She smirks at you. Don't bother answering. It was a rhetorical question. For such a rabid anarchist, your friend seemed awfully comfortable being in power. Kind of a contradiction in terms, don't you think? I mean, it's a contradiction in terms, I guess, but you can't help be inspiring. You can't help but be a leader. And if people choose to follow you, they choose to follow you. I don't want to get mad about it, though. She shrugs. Fair enough. You're probably right. I don't know her like you do. I'm sure that she was a lovely person. All I really know is that your friend's death left a power vacuum, and that the crew's boster is less stable because of it. I can talk to her again. Just someone we return to talk to every now and again, I imagine. Might have a side quest. Alright, anyone else? How am I doing for money? Not great. I think I need to go back to the base before I do any buying. We'll finish our rounds in a minute. Blitz looks up at your approach. The table beside him is littered with cigarette butts, and a data jack cable dangles from a portable terminal set up by his side. Hey, Chief, you need something? Checking in, you doing alright? Great, Chief, I'm doing just great. It's real nice to be able to wind down and relax for a change. No more worrying about this ganger or that ganger sneaking behind me and slipping a knife between my ribs. He slaps the table with a grin. It's a good change, Chief, I've got to say. Glad to hear it. We're happy to have you on the team. Of course you are! He gestures at himself with a flourish. What's not to be happy about? Got some questions. Blitz glances wistfully back at the terminal on the side, then turns back with a sigh of resignation. I suppose. But try to keep it short, okay, Chief? I've got things to do. How long were you in Dragonfall? I ended up there after the anarchist revolution of 39. I was just a kid back then, too young to realize how good I was. How much money I could have made work in the shadows. He shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. And so, being young and dumb, I fell in with the gang crowd. And that was that. You're a member of a drug gang, why should I trust you? Why shouldn't you, Chief? I mean, just look at me. He does his best to give you a winning smile. I'm a trustworthy guy. Prove it. Tell me about the gang that you ran with. Hello? Well, I don't know all that much, Chief. I wasn't a membership of gang leadership or anything. Not really sure why you care, either. Consider it a test. I need to know where your loyalties lie. He rolls his eyes. If that's what it'll take for you to trust me, fine. Anything for you, Chief. Well, where to begin? When I first arrived at Dragonfall, I spent some time taking in the lay of the land. The Schwarzherzen was still a pretty small gang, strictly street level, but I could see they were going places. I did a little pro bono decking for their leader, a fat little dwarf named Dieter, I can read. Soon enough, I was a part of the family. For a drug gang, the Schwarzherzen were decent enough folks. I made a lot of money with them, helped them take the hotel in the first place. We had a lot of good years there. Then Dieter was killed in a firefight, and our happy little family fell apart. Was that when the hotel got attacked? Blitz takes a deep breath, shifts his weight from one foot to the other. Not exactly. The Schwarzherzen maintained their hold on Dragonfall, but the change in leadership was bad news for me. After Dieter kicked the bucket, his second-in-command took over. She was a real piece of work. Called herself Leonie Lester. She had a vicious streak a mile long. She was none too fond of me. Did she turn on you? Immediately. I don't know why. Maybe she felt threatened by my friendship with Theodore, back before he ate that bullet. Perhaps she was just jealous of my rugged good looks. Who the hell knows? Point is, she went after me, vigorously. Within 24 hours of Theodore's death, I had a price on my head, and the hotel got taken over. So that's what you need to know about the Schwartzers, they were a great gang, a powerful gang. I helped to make them that way. And they had a management turnover, and everything went to hell. That's usually how it goes. Blitz rocks back on his feet, his hands in his pockets. That's it. End of story. Anything else you want to talk about? Wait a second, that isn't it. There's some pretty big holes in that story. Come on, Chief. This is all ancient history. Wouldn't you rather talk about the future? The runs we're gonna go on. Oh, all the money we're gonna make. Blitz, tell me what happened between Lester putting the price on your head and the hotel getting attacked. All right, Chief. Fine. That's what it'll take to make you happy. So I was in a bind, right? The members of the Schwartzers and who were loyal to Lester were all out for my blood, and none of the others were gonna stick their necks out for me. The advantage of being a gang is protection in numbers. When those numbers turn against you, you've got to get creative if you want to stay alive. Blitz taps the plastic of his data jack. What I had to. Lester declared war on me, so I retaliated. And I won. All without ever firing a shot. It's not an answer. Blitz sighs. You won't be satisfied until I spell it out, will you? Okay, fine. I hacked into Lester's computer and sent all of her information to a rival organization. Remember Frank from the hotel? Well, he was my liaison. They hit the Schwartzherzen and they hit him hard. And then they took the hotel. And, then they took me. I'll admit that the plan backfired a little. Eh? Did what you had to. In your place, I'd probably have done the same. They turned on you first. Blitz lets out a sigh of relief. Oh, thanks, Chief. I knew you'd understand. Now, if you don't mind, I'd like to get back to what I was doing. Gives you a lazy salute. We'll talk later, I'm sure. And Chief, I'm glad to be a member of the team. I think I had one more thing I could have... well, Chief, I wasn't around for most of it, but you got me out of that hotel, and for that, you've got my eternal thanks. Cool. Cool. Oh yeah, Dante didn't come with us on that mission. I just remembered that. You look down to see a pair of bright eyes set into a scruffy face looking back up at you. Dante, Monica's old dog. Looking down into those huge brown eyes, you see intelligence and sadness. On some instinctive level, he must know that his master is gone. Dante lets out a small whine, then rubs his head against your leg. I'll give you some lovin'. Alright, we'll talk with Paul first. Amsel's expression is harder than you've seen it before. When he speaks, his voice is grim. Iga has told me of Green Winters' death. She said that he died in the same manner that Monica did. Yeah, no, that's fine. Wasn't a pretty sight. Amsel nods gravely. I know that you and Iga have had your differences. I will tell you that she was badly shaken by the sight of Winters' body. She also mentioned that you found something in Winters' safe. A package full of very old discs. May I see them? Of course. Good God. Gingerly, Amsel lifts a disc from the bundle and holds it up to the light. Slowly, he begins to turn it in his hand, causing rainbow patterns to shimmer across its surface. I haven't seen one of these since I was a boy. This is a DVD-RW, a data storage medium from the mid-2000s. I'm amazed that Winters was able to find a device that could play it. DVDs. Do you know how we can read those things? He puts down the DVD in his hands and quickly inspects the others. The first disc that I looked at might be readable. The others are damaged, some severely so. I have my doubts about them. For now, let's concentrate on the undamaged disc. There's a little shop outside, the Data Haven. Talk to the proprietor, Malit Hoyley. She might be able to help. Tell her to put the cost of the device on my account. Sure. Oh, Dante's gonna follow. Cool. Alright, Dietrich. Hey, boss. What can I do for you? How you holding up? Seem to take Monica's death harder than the others. Dietrich shakes his head, a wistful expression on his face. Nah. Whoa. I haven't been satisfied with his voice. I feel like he needs to be more German, but I don't want to do that very poorly. I'll figure it out later. Nah, no harder, but I'm less buttoned up than the others are. Iger's never let herself show any weakness, and Glory, well, she's too full of chrome to feel much of anything. He shrugs. Me, I don't give a damn. I've spent too much of my life putting on a show for others already. What do you mean by that? I used to front a punk band, way back when. Believe it or not, I've spent a pretty good chunk of my life on stage. Whenever we weren't playing, I was living up to our fans' expectations. Spouting off, getting into fights, getting drunk, getting laid. Not a bad life, all things considered. What was your band called? Maybe I've heard of it. Oh, I doubt it, boss. We never really got any airplay. Since when did airplay have anything to do with good music? Fair point, boss. Alright, I'll tell you. The band was called Messerkampf. Spelled just like it sounds, in big capital letters with an exclamation point. We weren't a big act or anything. We sold a few records here and there, toured around Europe. Same story you'll hear from a bunch of other washed-up old relics, I'm sure. We had a decent following in England, and we holed up in London from 31 to 36. Spent most of our time slumming it around the East End, and picked up enough Cockney to irritate the folks back home. He shakes his head. Truth be told, that whole chapter of my life was a bit of a blur. We didn't do it for the fans or the fame, and we sure as shit didn't care about money. All that mattered to us was staying young, and drunk, and angry. Takes a moment to examine his gnarled hands, a sad smile on his face. We managed the second two. Good God, where has the time gone? Dietrich shakes himself from his reverie and looks back up at you. That familiar, easy grin returns to his face. Well, anyway, boss, everything ends eventually, and I washed my hands of all of this years ago, so let's change the subject if you don't mind. No, you can sing. He regards you with a critical eye. I was the front man for a punk band, boss. Fuck no, I can't sing. Lol. He grins, but it wasn't half bad at rallying up a crowd. How'd you go from fronting a band to running the Shadows? Wasn't as big a leap as you'd think. I already had a healthy disrespect for authority, and I had the magic to back it up. One nice thing about shamanism, as long as you keep your idol happy, doesn't matter what else you do. The Dragon Slayer chose me to be his servant, and as long as I was scrapping with someone bigger than me, he didn't much care whether I did it on stage or in the shadows. Tell me about the Dragon Slayer. He shrugs. Not much to tell. He chose me when I was just a kid. I could always feel him in my heart, goading me to laugh louder, hit harder, and get rowdier than the rest. Of course, my family didn't understand, but the hell with him, I thought. I knew that I was destined for greater things. So I listened to him, and I cracked the skulls of a lot of bad people. He saw this, and was pleased, and rewarded me with magic. And I used that magic to crack bigger, thicker skulls, and so on. He shrugs. It's a simple life, but a good one. My thoughts about the last run. Well, we found Winters. That's something, I guess. This whole thing has me feeling uneasy, boss, but at least we have a direction to look in. Take it easy, boss. Sup, Iger? Iger turns to face you. There's a pained look on her face. Look, I owe you an apology. I'm listening. When Monica died, I was pissed. That probably doesn't come as a huge surprise. But I took that anger out on you, and I shouldn't have. Seeing Winters' body like that was enough to convince me. You couldn't have done anything to help Monica. And I couldn't have either. We're dealing with something new. Monica was a good friend of mine. Her death hurt. I got carried away, and I said some things that I shouldn't have. I want to apologize for that. Body relaxes. She begins to turn away. Anyway, that's all that I wanted to say. A few things that I want to say. She stops and turns back to face you. You can see the wariness behind her eyes. Go ahead. Nobody's stopping you. Accept your apology. If you insult me in front of the team again, you're going to regret. I'm not going to threaten her. I'm not going to berate her. Yeah. You're a valued member of this team, Iger. We need you now more than ever. I'm glad that you're on my side. She raises a hand to stop you. The expression on her... that wasn't the best one. Shit. I didn't play that the best. I don't want to have to go through all the dialogue again. Alright. I'll remember that. Shadow, what do you need? How you holding up? Don't worry about me. I'm solid. You sure? You look like you're a million miles away. I'll be with you when it counts. Right now it doesn't. Yeah, same as before. Okay, there. I kind of pushed through that. I think before I kind of acquiesced. Kind of started running the Shadows much more than 5 years ago tops. So what's with the vintage chrome? It was cheap. It gets the job done. End of discussion. I don't think so. I've known a lot of street Sams in my time, but I've never met anyone who'd voluntarily install cyberware that old. You're right. There's more to it than I'm letting on, but I'm not interested in talking about it. Let's push a little bit more. Why not? Can't help but notice that you seem guarded, withdrawn. That's my problem, none of your concern. If you talk to me, I can help. I doubt it, chummer. I doubt it very much. But I appreciate the sentiment. Maybe later, when we know one another better, we can get into it. Sure, we can do that later. Can I do another question? No. Alright. That went kind of okay. Every character has their own, like, side quest later we can do once we are their friend enough. So we do want to make sure we do that right. No new messages. Unfortunate. No pending jobs yet. Anything in Shadowlands? Claim payment for sold. Yeah, the antiquities. Not bad. Winning bid $550, escrow fee, and $4.95 to me. Do not have any pay data to load. Or to find elves. Is there any elf clubs or bars in the downtown area? I really want to meet one. They're just so beautiful. Maybe we can go dancing. Do elves like dancing? That's Alex Tusk. There's one on Torstra. The beta sign? Bring a bouquet of roses. Elves love a romantic. That's Tolstoy. The elf clubs I know of are members only due to creepy groupies. Like you. Not really appealing when a guy is only after them for the shape of their ears. Ruby. Client screwed me. Benno is a fraud. I broke my first rule. Always get full payment up front. Left me hanging for 50% of the cash after I completed the job. I'm sure he'll have changed his name by the time this posting goes up. Male elf, brown hair, gold eyes, look to be in his mid-30s. Be careful who you work for out there. Never thought I'd see you admit to a mistake on here. Thanks for the heads up. I'll keep my eyes open. We'll forward any info I come across if you're still looking to collect from that guy. That's Maelstrom. Blitz. Oh, hey, it's Blitz. Pro shot. Sent you some surveillance footage. Is this your man? Sure is. Nice one. I'll split the take with you if this lead pans out. Good to find there's still some honor among runners. Oh, good for you, Blitz. Alright, I think that's all we can do here. We need to actually go do what Amsol requested of me. Oh yeah, let's check our equipment really quick. I think I'm gonna need another trauma kit or two. Here, put this away. Take that and take that. We can sell them. I mean, it might have been able to sell from the stash, but might as well just take them now. Oh, it's you. Welcome back. What can I do for you? I acquired this drone. Can you get it up and running again? Yeah, probably. Might take a bit of doing, though. I love working on these old corp drones. Can't make you any guarantees, but either way, it's on the house. I leave it in your hands. Something else I want to talk to you about. DVD-R. Really? That is old tech. Very old, in fact. Just a moment. I will go look. She turns to rummage through a bin of obsolete components at the back of her stall. Ah, yes, here we are. The dwarf wrestles a mid-sized flat-screen display out of the bin. This display has old enough hookups to connect to a DVD player. RCA, you know, vintage. The player itself, though, this I do not have. You may wish to try your luck down at the junkyard. There is a scavenger there, a primitive man with a crude disposition. If anyone here in the crew is bosser can help you find your DVD player, he can, but he will almost as certainly attempt to overcharge you for it. She takes a deep breath and smiles up at you. But you are not here for gossip. Shall we conclude our business? I could give you the display for, say, 200 new yen. Paul Amsel said to charge it to his account. Ha, very well. I will have it packaged up and delivered to Herr Amsel straight away. Best of luck finding your DVD reader. I wish you well. Thanks. But also... show me a tech, girl. What are we using? Oh, yeah. I'm gonna sell you drugs, because you'll totally buy those. Oh, she doesn't. That's interesting. I think I have to sell those to Zach. Oh, no, it's... oh, yeah, here we go. So I could have sold from my stash. That's fine. Okay, and then what do I have equipped for... I have the Sony CTY 360. So that's the next one. Oh, literally it says owned right there. I know how to read, I promise. Got 2160 right now. Yeah, go ahead. So just level 1 programs? Yeah, I don't think I have any ESPs though. Oh, I can't equip it yet. That makes sense. Probably didn't need to buy it then. Okay, what do I have in terms of... oh, I've got 2 erosions? That's weird. Sell that. Yeah, I don't have any ESPs. I'll buy, buy an assassin. Okay, now that we've spent most of our money. Hi, who are you? Oh, Cammy. Yeah, that makes sense. She taps an invisible hat. Hey there, remember me from the cafe? Name's Cammy. Are you looking for something? Cute. Well, who you are, for one thing? I'm Altug's ears and eyes outside of the cafe. Call me Cammy. I wear a couple of hats, a barista, a gopher. Keep my eyes and ears open. Let's just say I get on by trading stories. So I can count on you to hear what's going on. Like I said, only if you've got something juicy for me. Or if Altug wants me to tell you something, but that's rare. I may be his ears and a hands, but he's got enough of a voice all by himself. So what's the story between you and Altug? She grins and winks I hate that word. Lasciviously? Lasciviously. Something like that, at you. Oh, surely you've guessed. Wow, isn't he a little old for you? She whoops loudly and pats you on the shoulder. Oh, goodness, no. Listen, it's not like that. I'll tell you all about it sometime, but there's no need to worry about the nature of our relationship. Purely business, I assure you. She winks again, chuckling still. I'll tell you all about it sometime. Right now, though, I have some errands to run. Come over sometime and we can chat over hookah or something, yeah? She lazily tips an invisible hat at you before turning her focus to a comm on her wrist. That's cool. Hello again. I hear you've been busy. What exactly did you hear about me? Nothing too serious. Just that you've got a lot of work. I do too, which is nice. Aren't there any child labor laws around? Oh, how old are you? Oh. Sad. Cammy puffs up indignantly, and you realize how young she must really be. She couldn't be out of her teens yet. And what does that mean? Chill, element that can be a hard life for a kid. She grows quiet for a moment, briefly looking down at her shoes before looking you straight in the eye. Yeah, it can be, but it's better than some other lives. Altu gave me a good job, and I'm super grateful for it. Yeah, okay. I think that's all we can get out of you for now. Yeah. Anything with Altuk himself? The Turk leans into you, keeps his voice low. I have information regarding that matter my people were looking into, Effendim. The one involving the surveillance device on my data tab. Altuk! I've been waiting for my coffee for nearly an hour already. Are you growing the beans out back? The coffee vendor shouts. Can't you see that I'm speaking to an honored guest, you tower of quivering corpulence? His voice lowers again. Now then, as I was saying, we were fortunate that you happened upon that surveillance tap when you did. The people on the other end were planning a very bad thing, to be sure. Quite bad, yes. Monica Schaefer was an important member of this community, more than most were aware of. This Kiaz was under her protection. You know how it is in the Flux, Effendim. The governance of a place like this is tenuous at best. You never know who is going to be in charge from one day to the next. But Monica was a stabilizing force, and not just because she was dangerous. She was smart and funny and wise, and she had a way with people. They wanted to support her, to follow her, because they loved her. When she was killed, it left an opening for others. It would have meant bloodshed and pain. This council had been allowed to continue their plan, but they did not. We saw to it, you and I. What happened to them? They have been reasoned with, let us simply say. The matter is settled and leave it at that. The crew as bosser will maintain its stability a while longer, thanks to us. Cool. Got a karma out of it, which means I have just enough to upgrade my rifle. Cool. Okay, so that was a thing. In the junkyard, eh? It's Talismonger. Where's the junkyard? Over here. I see. I'm waiting to talk to the other vendors because I'm hoping I can get a little bit. I mean, I didn't do a job for anyone, so I don't know why I think I'm going to get paid. But I don't have much money left. Shrotty. A stout old man looks up from whatever old techs he's been tinkering with to squint at you through thick, old-fashioned glasses. He pushes them up with an oil-stained finger as he straightens up to nod at you. He speaks with a gruff but well-meaning tone, heavily accented with German tonality. Guten Tag! What can I do for you? Oh my god, Shadow, what was that? Malit tells me that you're a man to speak to about DVDs. That little shrew sent you my way, huh? Shorty's smile broadens. Will wonders never cease? Well, introductions are in order, I suppose. A Shorty Bookman at your service. The old man raises a grimy hand in salute. Need something salvaged? Some old components, vielleicht. I am indeed your man. Wonderful. How about that DVD player? Well, let's see. I think I've got something that'll work for you. Shorty rummages through the junk heaped on the table behind him. A few seconds later, he snatches a battered plastic lozenge shape from the pile. Ah, here we go. An old Korean beauty that I dug up last week. 2010 model, a real beauty. Shorty's smile broadens, and he gives you a conspiratorial wink. I fixed her up and got her running, but without any discs to read, I've mostly been using her as a paperweight. Sounds like what I'm looking for. How much do you want for it? Shorty glances back at the DVD player, a rueful expression on his face. Well, I'll admit, I'm a little loath to part with her. There's plenty of folks out there who'd really appreciate an older player such as this, and I don't know what your intentions are for it. I suppose, given the time and trouble I took putting her back together, that I'd be willing to part with her for, say... Shorty's eyes dart over your gear, a calculated expression on his face. About 500 new yen. I do not have that much. I can't threaten him. I could buy a new Trivid player for that. Shotenkasher now can offer you something in trade. The old man pauses for a moment, considering. I'll tell you what. A few months ago, I had call it a difference of opinion with that Burakaze fellow from the soy calf shop. He hasn't let me into his establishment since, and I'd sell my mother for a decent cup of coffee. You get me a cup of Turkish coffee, the real stuff, not that fake junk, and I'll give you the DVD player. Sounds like a deal? As it happens, I have a mug right here. It's a little cold. It's been in my pocket for about a couple of days, but, you know, it's fine. Thank you. Shorty gratefully accepts the coffee, then snaps the lid back and inhales deeply, wiggling his mustache as he processes his scent. Yep, that's the real stuff, all right. Shorty gingerly picks up the ancient device from the table and presses it into your hands. The plastic is scuffed and worn, and it rattles a bit when you move it. Give us some good use, okay? Cool. I'm glad the coffee served its purpose. Alright, Paul. I got the goods. Ooh, everybody's assembled. We're gonna watch some home movies together? It seems that Amstel has assembled a team in your absence. They stand in a group around the old display that you had Malik deliver. On their faces you can see excitement and apprehension, curiosity and dread. Shadow, have you procured a DVD reader? I have, it's right here. Good, this should only take me a moment. Amstel disappears behind the ancient display. After a few minutes of fiddling with its battered inputs, he reappears, a satisfied look on his face. Everything appears to be functional. The disc should be ready to play. Well, don't keep us in suspense. Start the damned thing already! Shadow went to the trouble of fetching everything. Let her do the honors. Amstel steps back, clearing a path for you to access the antique machine. Six tracks, oh my. A soft whirring sound fills the air as the ancient DVD player spins the disc up to speed. The scratched LCD display comes to life and a menu fills the screen. The screen goes black and a cheerful digital chiming sound spills out of the display speakers. A crackle of static fills the air, coupled with a shrill electronic whine. After a few moments, the display goes live, and a disheveled looking man appears on the screen. His eyes glitter with excitement. 2034 915. Hermie, I think we found her. After all this time. Fierschwingy, I knew that she wasn't dead. His voice is jittery. You can hear the urgency in his voice. She survived the Dragonfall, just as I've always said. I knew it, and I was right. The screen explodes into static, and the electronic whine in the background sharpens into a needle-like pulse of high-pitched sound. Somewhere in the background, Dante lets out a low whimper. The screen clears, and the excited face is closer to the screen than it was before. The words spill out of him in a breathless tide. Taking a team into the SOX to retrieve her. The radiation be damned! We will take appropriate precautions, of course, but we must go. Hermie, I think that the body may be nearby as well. Somehow she has survived for all of this time. The screen explodes into static again, then clears. The figure flickers across the screen. I may not be back for some time. Look after Mom, okay? I worry about her. And Hermie, stay safe out there. I know that things are heating up in Berlin, and I know you. Student protests, civil uprising, you'll be in the middle of it, I'm sure. Just stay safe, alright? And I'll do my best to do the same. I don't know what's going to happen when I step into the SOX, but I do know one thing. If the Fire Wing is still a danger, I will put an end to her, once and for all. Black for a moment, figure appears on the screen, your late client, Green Winters. His elbow is planted on the table that he's seated at, and his chin rests on his palm. The other hand is wrapped around a bottle of cheap whiskey. 2053, 1225. Oh, it's Christmas. No, that's Green Winters. Found the message Adrian left me all those years ago. Got it cleaned up as best I could. It's strange, hearing his voice again. He pauses to take a long pull on the bottle. It's good to hear him, even if he did insist on calling me Hermie. Dr. Adrian Vauclair, the hero of the people, the Dragon Slayer, my brother. He grimaces and rubs his eyes. Hard to believe it's been almost 20 years. Alright, so I'm going to start recording these DVDs again. For me, for Adrian, for whoever might wind up watching them. Every time I do this, it winds up feeling like a waste of time. But I keep doing it anyway, on the off chance that I'll find something important. If I stumble into the clue that leads me to my brother, I know that I'm going to want it on film. I've been doing this for almost 20 years now, after all. No sense in quitting now. Christ. 20 years. All this time and still no leads. Even with all of my contacts and my resources. Takes another long swallow of cheap liquor. Even with my legendary bullheadedness, I've made no progress at all. I haven't turned up a single goddamned thing. Want to hear something funny? Closest I've gotten to a clue was a rumor. Apparently a team emerged from the SOX a while back. Nobody's clear on the date, but get this. He leans into the camera and gives a conspiratorial wink. Supposedly they vanished without a trace. He upends the bottle, drains it, slams it back down to the table. His eyes are rimmed with red. Not much of a rumor, considering. I already know that you're gone, big brother. I live with that every day. Green Winters' image appears on the screen. Eager look on his face. 2054, 1012. Stumbled upon this archival footage of Flux-State's original attack, months before the Dragonfall. Easy to forget how devastating it was. Adrian saved a lot of lives by bringing her down. I've got the footage all queued up to play, starting it now. Additional comments to follow. The slow whir of the DVD player shifts to a high-pitched whine. A distorted, wavering image blooms into being on the screen. A timestamp in the upper right corner of the screen marks the date, July 6, 2012. It's difficult to make out what you're seeing at first. The scene is dark and smoky, and the telltale flashes of emergency vehicle lights flicker on the periphery of the screen. Camera pushes in, and you can make out two figures standing in a ruined landscape. All at once, the sound cuts in. Again, for those of you just joining us, we are coming to you live from Stolberg. A few hours ago, the Dragon Flux-State launched an unprovoked attack on this sleepy Harz Mountain town. You can see the results behind me. Fire, ashes, and blood. We are joined tonight by a survivor of this latest and most horrifying attack. The reporter turns to face a pale man standing behind him. Sir, I understand that you've been through a terrible ordeal. Thanks for taking the time to speak with us tonight. The camera switches focus to a middle-aged man with a haunted look in his eyes. He stammers out a reply. Yes, of course. If you could, sir, could you please tell the people at home about your experience of the attack? It was horrible. Just pure chaos. So many people are dead. People I knew. Roasted alive or trampled to death trying to escape. My own house was burned to the ground during that attack. My family, we have nothing now. You all made it through the attack, though? Your wife, your kids? Yeah, we all made it, thank God. We rode out the attack in a small shelter. Me, my wife, and our 2 daughters. The shelter, it protected us, but the heat was just unbearable. We couldn't have stayed in there much longer than we did. How long were you holed up in there? 3, maybe 4 hours? I don't know. We just stayed inside until the heat died down and the screaming stopped. And what happened after that? When it was over, you know, when the air cooled down. The reporter nods and the man continues. We stepped outside. There was nothing left. Just smoldering wreckage and the dense cloud of black, oily smoke. And the stench in the air. God, that smell. It smelled like roasting meat. There is a long pause. From the tortured look on his face, you can tell that the man is struggling to decide whether or not to continue speaking. Eventually he does. My girls. They found what was left of their nanny outside. Her body, what was left of it, was slumped against the shelter door. I keep telling myself that I couldn't hear her pounding to get in. But that isn't true. I could. I just couldn't bring myself to open that door. I couldn't risk my family like that. Not for her, not for anyone. Thank you, sir, for taking the time to speak with us. Yeah. You heard it here. An absolutely chilling account of tonight's attack. Again, the town of Stolberg has been reduced to ash. Another victim of the Fire Wing. Stay with us for more up-to-the-date, up-to-the-minute reporting on Fierschwingy's Reign of Terror. Green Winters' face reappears on the screen. Okay, it's time for a new approach. Adrian's complete dead end. Not much is pretty clear by now. So I'm gonna do some digging on Fierschwingy instead. Let's see where this goes. Green Winters image again. Oh, Halloween. My birthday. Well, that was a bust. Little progress on Fierschwingy either. I don't know, it's weird. The information is there, it's just wrong somehow. It's too well laid out, too simple. Real life is messy, and this feels just a little too neat. That's not the only thing that's nagging at me. I'm getting that tingly feeling all up and down the back of my neck again. It feels like I'm being tracked. I'm no Matrix hotshot like Clockwork or Schaefer, but I'm good enough to know when someone's on my scent. Gotta install some new security measures. Can't be too careful. So he knows Schaefer. Seated at the computer off to his left, enormous monitor fills the screen. Voice carries an edge of panic. 11:09. Holy crap. Christ, I'm getting too close to something. There's a trail of bodies, and there have been disappearances. Gearbox, Marcienne, Peregrine. They've all disappeared within the past few years. Gearbox just went AWOL yesterday, and they were all making the same sorts of inquiries about the Fire Wing that I've been. There are ghost stories spreading around the Deckard community. Stories about Deckards disappearing, and then showing up again later, but wrong somehow. Scary stuff. I'm starting to think that it's true. Blitz leads in to whisper to you. I know the stories he's talking about, Chafe. Never really put much stock in them. Not until now. Could these rumors be related to what's happening here? Am I being paranoid? He pauses for a moment, as if seriously considering the question. Then he shakes his head and slams his fist on the table. No, I don't think so! Something big is happening here, and I'm right in the middle of it! Iger cuts in. That's a bit of a leap. One other thing. Tolstoy told me a story about a kill team that might be related to all of this. Apparently a Decker named Hellbore posted a theory about Fierschwingy to the Shadowlands BBS about 5 years ago. About an hour later, a mil-spec team showed up in Meat Space and cooked her entire apartment, with her in it. If what Tolstoy told me was true, Hellbore live posted with the event. She described her killer, this great big orc with skin grafts, and the whole thread disappeared, gone without a trace. Leap? Igalov? Sounds like he's on the right track to me. Iger nods for silence, but concedes the point with a small nod. On the screen, Winters pauses. It looks like he's working up to something. Finally, he speaks. I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. This has gotta be Fierschwingy. All of it. Adrian was right about her. She's still alive, and she's out of the SOX. She's covering her tracks, working the shadows, preparing to rise again. And that means that I have to find you, Adrian, for everyone's sake. Thankfully, I've got a lead. For the first time in 2 decades, I've got a solid goddamned lead. I've backtraced all of the Matrix's nodes that Hellbore was looking into, back before she got cooked. Whoever's been purging the Matrix didn't think about that. And I found she turned up. Winter stabs a few keys on his keyboard and an image expands to fill the screen of his monitor. A satellite photo of a rural landscape annotated with GPS data. A set of map coordinates. So now I've got a target, a place to start digging. The Harfeld Manor, conveniently located on an isolated stretch of countryside miles away from prying eyes. Matrix records indicate that some sort of data vault exists beneath the estate, so that's what I need to get into. And this is where we came in. As if on cue, a familiar image winks onto the monitor to Winters' left. Monica. I think I'm gonna tap Schaefer for this job. She's got the skills to bypass whatever security they're running out there, and she's gullible enough to take the job in the first place. I'll feed her some line about Flux-State security, and she'll eat it up with a spoon. I warned her. Amsel's voice is choked with rage. I warned her. On the display, Winters' mouth parts into a broad grin. Time to put plans into motion. By this time tomorrow night, I should have the information that I need. And on the off chance that Schaefer gets taken out, well, that'll tell me something too. Can't make an omelet and all that. Until then. When you play the 6th track, a small video window appears. You recognize the scene in the window. You were looking at the tattered drapes and nicotine-stained wallpaper of Winters' hotel room at Das Kesselhaus, 2054-1110. There is a blur of motion, and the haggard frame of Green Winters lumbers into frame. Suspicions confirmed. Schaefer dead. Christ! Winters reaches a shaking hand off camera. A moment later, it returns, clutching a cheap plastic drinking glass. He gulps something down, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand, and takes a deep breath. Okay. Back up, slow down, start from the beginning. Winters closes his eyes and makes a visible effort to calm himself. When he speaks again, his voice is steady. Got the call from my contact in the cruise bosser. Schaefer killed on the estate run. Matrix security at the estate cooked her brain. Considering Schaefer's skill and experience, on-site IC must have been extreme, even by Berlin standards. Security of that kind costs money, real money. Given the evidence uncovered so far, corporate involvement unlikely. The connection to the fire wing is too strong. So let's just come out right out and say it. The dragon is what we're dealing with here. The smart money says that she's coming for me next. Well, I won't go down without a fight. And I've still got my contacts, still got my connections, and the Flux-State can be a hell of a weapon for the man who knows how to manipulate it. Winters takes another long pull from his glass, grimaces, and swallows. Time for me to make my play. Ghost stories or no, missing Deckers or no, I've got to jack into the Matrix and start pulling strings. The countermeasures that I installed earlier should be more than enough to keep me safe for the 20 minutes I'll be in there. Winters drains the rest of the glass and tosses it back over his shoulder. A moment later, you hear the dull clattering sound of hard plastic on linoleum. Schaefer's death was tragic. She was a staunch supporter of the F-State. But still, all things considered... Winters fishes for something off-screen. A moment later, his hand reappears, clutching a data jack. Better her than me. Well, both of you. If you're watching this, then I guess that they caught up to me. They will be after you too now. Blitz whispers into your ear again, more harshly. We doing this again? No? Okay. Oh, yep. Minimized itself on me. I wasn't even near the trackpad. What The hell is this? Why didn't you warn me about this before I came here? Hey everybody, Blitz is scared. We didn't know. Not exactly. Not exactly? I didn't come here to get hunted by a dragon. I'm not even a part of this. You are now, whether you like it or not. So quiet down and stop bothering her. Whoever you are, whatever you think you're after, you need to find Dr. Adrian Vauclair. Not because he's my brother. Because if Flux-State is rising again, he's the only one who can stop her. You've seen what happens to people who get too close to this. I'm dead, and dozens of others have died. You'll be next unless you can find Adrian. Fun. Room goes quiet as everyone struggles to process what you've just seen on the DVD. Finally, Dietrich breaks the silence. A dragon! Son of a bitch! Green Winter sent us up against a dragon. The Firewing. Amsel's voice is thick with dread. She lives. Oh, I'm really starting to regret the fact that I didn't just stay at the hotel. Iger ignores him. Wait a second. We don't know for certain. Dietrich lays a hand on Iger's shoulder. The evidence seems pretty convincing to me, love. I'll even take it a step further. I think that secret facility that we stumbled into was her lair. The room falls silent. Iger and Glory exchange glances. After a moment, Dietrich continues. Just think about it. The Decker that Winters got these coordinates from was posting about Flux-State. Then she was attacked by that same orcish bastard that attacked us after Monica died. There's a direct link between the dragon, the scarred orc, and the Harfield Manor. And then Winters was killed by the same thing that killed Monica. Exactly. My gut tells me that the dragon is down there, Shadow. Someplace far beneath the surface. I think that we knocked on the door to her lair without even knowing it. And I think that, given what we've seen, the dragon will do whatever it takes to keep us quiet about it. Okay, going on the assumption that there is a dragon, and that she will come after us, what do you propose that we do about it? I tell you what we're gonna do. We're gonna follow Winters' advice. We're gonna find Vauclair. Yes, Shadow is right. Finding Dr. Vauclair should be our priority. If we're going up against a dragon, we need ourselves a dragon slayer. I'll be a new dragon slayer. Winters spent 20 years searching for Vauclair, and it got him nowhere. How do you propose that we find him? With the help of an information broker. I'll go talk to Altuk then. For this, no. While Herr Burakazi is very capable, a task of this magnitude is beyond him. We need to make contact with the premier information broker in Berlin. We need to talk to Alice. Blitz scoffs at Amsel. Alice! Best of luck, and I hope that you're rich. Amsel raises an eyebrow. For this, rich enough, even if only just. Who is this Alice? A most prominent figure in Berlin's shadow community, ex-Schockwellenreiter. She provides information retrieval services for the F-State. Amsel turns to the computer console behind him and runs his finger over a virtual keyboard. The machine begins to hum. If Winters was right, if Vauclair is still alive, she can help us find him. The console spits out a stick of black plastic. Amsel plucks it from the computer and hands it to you. Here, your key to speak with Alice. An encoded cred stick, yes. 10,000 new yen. Alice will not show her face for less. This represents the last of my personal savings, Shadow. Make this meeting count. Where do I need to go? Take the U-bomb to the Altstadt Spandau. There you will find a connecting tube that the locals refer to as the rabbit hole. You will find a method of contacting Alice there. Don't call it that in front of her, though. Word on the street is that she hates it. Please hurry. While you're out, I will work on acquiring new contracts for the team. Alice is the best that there is at what she does, and her services carry a price tag to match. Cool. Okay, so no money from him or anyone else for now. But it sounds like we're going to have some work after we come back from doing that. How much money do we have? Not much. We can follow up with dialogue with the other vendors once we get back. Like, we can do several rounds of their dialogue all at once. So... I'm good to end it there. I think this might be a little bit longer, but that's fine. We got some good stuff done. We're ready to move on to the next mission. Thank you to everyone for joining me. I hope you had fun. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And I will see you all next time for some more Shadowrun Dragonfall.